Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeff Masters, and welcome to the preliminary matchup for URLC 3. A bit later on down the stream, we're going to be having a special charity event to support Ukraine, but for the moment, I am joined in the booth by Galgan, bringing you all a 1v1 matchup in the Grand Champ Division with Derek versus Vince duking it out head-to-head. So in your opinion, Galgan, how do you see things playing out on the pitch, and what do you think we should expect out there?
Well, Jeff, first of all, I am very glad to be sharing the booth with you for this prelims matchup, and I'm expecting some fireworks from these two players. Like you said, it's GC Division. They're both going to come out swinging, trying to throw whatever punches they can early on, and in a best of three as well. What better to do than to throw all those punches early? Get it going as fast as you can, and try and wear down your opponent to get the early advantage and come away with those two games in your favor. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And I feel like the first minute to minute and a half or so of game one will be very indicative of what we're going to get from these two players. But I'm also looking forward to everything else we have coming later today. The last one driving event. All of this being a charity event for humanitarian relief in support of Ukraine, by the way. It's beautiful to see. Can't wait to see how this night plays out. The community all coming together for a great cause and some even better Rocket League.
Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, indeed. Only good things to come. And as you said, I feel like how the first couple minutes of the first game play out is really going to be indicative of what we're going to see. In my experience with URLC, I tell you what, these guys definitely come out swinging, and they definitely want to try and make a statement. I mean, that is exactly what URLC is about, especially in the 1v1 type of situations. So I know that we're going to be in for a treat, whatever we see out here on the pitch. And I think in a 1v1 situation, it's a lot of times it can be dictated by control. It's all about ball control really in one. So we'll see which player kind of maintains more control throughout this matchup as we get things going here. We got the players joining up on the pitch, so we should have the kickoff in just a few seconds. And it's going to be an interesting one, I'll tell you what.
Going to be very interesting indeed. We have to give a shout out as well to all of the wonderful communities already in the chat here, starting us off with the early raids to get things going. We love seeing as many people come by as possible. And listen, I can't overstate this enough. You're going to want to stick around for all of tonight. Got that last one driving event with right around 30 content creators and pros ready to duke it out to see who is the last survivor. We've got a little bit of a false start here on Neo Tokyo, so we're gonna go for the lobby reset, make sure that everything is solid and ready to go. Again, this is the prelim series to kick things off between Derek and Vince Official. Gonna get a full lobby reset as the timer has already started, so we'll get that going as soon as possible. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Just want to say, I mean, I know we're just getting started, but we've got so much to show you tonight, and all of it's gonna be great.
Yep. Hey, rough starts, but don't worry about it. Mistakes happen all the time. It's it's just gonna be part of it. So, but honestly, you're gonna want to stick around for what we got going on. It's gonna be amazing. But quick little lobby reset. We'll be underway. All of the stuff should be good to go here. Actually, already we are on top of it right now. So, getting this 1v1 underway. We won't have any false starts this time. I promise. There's not going to be any clock that needs to get reset. Trust me, I want to see this event happen just as much as you all out there. The 1v1 competition from these people that come out for these events really is fantastic to see. It makes me realize, just how bad I am at this game sometimes when I watch these players out on the pitch, especially in ones, because it's so dynamic. It's so dynamic, and it's so expressive of how really good your mechanics are in a game when you're watching a 1v1 scenario. So it's gonna be Derek and Vince going head to head at it, and it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, and I mentioned as well, going back to the raids coming in, a Prism raid, which I'm actually hearing is a Ninja raid. So Ninja, thank you so much for the raid. Much appreciated. Like we said, everybody, we're getting set. We're going to get the players on the pitch as soon as possible. This is the preliminary matchup. It is a best of 3 taking place between Derek and Vince official here. So they're going to duke it out to see who could take it home. We're starting on Neo Tokyo. This is the Grand Champion Division. So there is going to be some fantastic gameplay coming at you. One's match. Jeff, we're finally here. Game 1 kickoff. I feel like we can breathe a sigh of relief and we're ready to go.
Yes, sir. Already on the opening kickoff, Derek, he's got an opening and already scoring off of rip with 4 seconds left to play. He gets a really good kickoff here and just nails it right into the back of the net. Vince couldn't turn around in time.
And we've got a little bit of a radio cast, I believe, until now. Just making sure that we get production all set and ready to go. May have some technical difficulties going behind, but you'll have to believe us until you can see the action. It is Derek out to the early lead. We apologize for any technical difficulties that the stream may be incurring, but there we go. It feels like we finally got some gameplay back, and Vince scores. So listen, you didn't miss that much. We're tied up at 1, and you can see the game. Everybody rejoice.
Yes, sir. You see, Vince just gets this clear right over top of Derek. He gets a good challenge, so Vince responds to Derek's first initial goal. We're tied 1-1, 4:41 left on the clock. Hardly any time has already passed, and both of these players have already scored. Kickoff goes towards the side. Derek to pick up the mid boost. Vince is forced back into the corner. Quickly trying to set himself up, gets in front of that ball and saves it over towards the corner. And Vince trying to clear this one downfield. Derek takes it over to the corner, trying to control this one up. See if he brings this over the side. What's he trying to do with it? Pops it over top of Vince. I don't know if he's going to have much to do with it there, as he sent that one a little bit too far. And now Vince gets a long clear. Is Derek going to be able to get back? I don't think so, and that's going to be a sniper shot.
Solid play from Vince here thus far. We can do a lot of analysis now that we've all got the full view, but you mentioned going into this control. Control is going to be paramount, and it's something that Vince has been doing pretty well here within the first minute. Just trying to stay close to the ball, dictate the pace of the game, and it's working out thus far. Derek trying to weasel his way in to his own detriment, but will take a big lobbing clear and try and make sure that he puts pressure on immediately. The first minute already gone here, Jeff. It feels like it breezed on by, and Vince comes out on the stronger half of it. But what can Derek do to try and come back? Certainly has to come up with saves like that. Vince scores a third.
Yeah, you see, he just had the control in the corner. Derek went for the boost, underestimated the speed that Vince could get that follow-up shot, and just left the goal open. So now Vince has a 2-goal lead, 3:52 left. We'll see if Derek here can try to pull something together. He gets a little bit of a break off the kickoff, but no boost to follow it up. Goes into Vince's car. He's going to pick up the mid boost, drive up the wall, patiently wait this one out. Derek, ooh, goes for boost. He set himself. Oh, Vince almost gets the flip reset to try and flick it over, but couldn't quite connect. So it should be Derek's turn now to try to make a counter offer on Vince's goal. But just kind of stalled in the corner right now. A little slow play right now between both of these players. And you see Derek lobbing one towards the goal. Good clear from Vince. But I'll see if I'm hoping that Derek can kind of get some momentum going forward. See if he can kind of challenge Vince a little bit better. I'm feeling Derek needs to play with the ball a little bit closer to his car, maybe just to try to challenge us a little bit better. You see right there, he even had an opening, but so far Vince has done a really good job of defending his net against Derek's attacks.
Yeah, this game 1 feels very much like a game 1 if there ever was one. And what I mean by that, in any game mode is the clean, calculated style that doesn't necessarily try to get too scrappy or too confrontational. Now, it's always high risk, high reward to be confrontational in ones, because if you try and find some side of demo or bump, something to try and throw your opponent off the rhythm, all it takes is one errant miss and you've immediately conceded possession and likely a goal, as Derek picks this one up right as I say it. You gotta be careful playing it from the corner, because you know that Derek is waiting for this one to fall right where it landed.
He definitely found the opportunity. Vince was trying to clear that one out. I just don't think he had the power that he wanted to send that one past Derek's car. So Vince ends up giving away a free shot that he didn't necessarily need to. And now Derek only needs one more goal to try to tie things up just around the halfway point of game number 1. See, Derek's into the corner, gets a pinch over top, but he's not going to be able to follow that up with anything as Vince was trying to come off the wall there. Derek doesn't maintain control of that one, so that's a free clear for Vince. He's got 12 boosts, opts to pick up the mid. Ooh, he jukes out Derek, so now Vince has an open goal and no one there to challenge, and that's going to be goal 4 for Vince.
Beautiful conversion right there from Vince, and it all starts with picking up that mid boost too, just playing the ball so close to it, filling up that tank to 100 and being able to juke it out towards that left side and then immediately ring it back in towards the middle of the net. Derek bites on the early challenge, and it's good night, Vince. And now looking for a 5th one as well. Vince trying to maintain control with under 2 minutes to go. We keep circling back to that word, Jeff. Control. It means everything. Derek, though, launches this one in to try and get back.
Watching that exchange, Vince off of kickoff, he had no boost, didn't collect any pads going back except that one right at the end. Had no time to set himself in that goal to try to defend against that shot. So unfortunately, Vince gives up another one. And I guess what I'm seeing in this game number 1 is to me also what you would expect is like these players kind of, I feel like warming up, kind of getting ready for feeling out the other one, how they're playing. It's not necessarily the cleanest gameplay from both of these players. I feel like there's a couple opportunities where, well, Vince has given up, I feel like, given up 2 goals already that he didn't necessarily have to. And Derek also, as well as he might give up a 5th one. Not that he's given up all of them, and that's going to be goal number 5 for Vince.
Now this is starting to look like a ones game. Not that it wasn't before, but both of the defenses, you know, from both of these players were doing a pretty solid job of taking away the opportunities before they got too threatening. I mean, if you told me 7 goals with 90 seconds to go, I feel like that's still a relatively low goal count, but it just goes to show you what a good matchup this is for both players. Derek does not connect on the flick nearly in the way that he wanted to. Will grab the mid boost, so has a little bit of presence here, but Vince wants to try and cancel all that out, and a beautiful challenge right there. It's being proactive on defense. Derek not only gets a save, but gets a clear. Can't quite finish in time, though, as again, Vince does it on the other end.
Yeah, that was honestly a really good exchange there, blocking that attack. Derek had a really good read when Vince tried to take it into the air. Oh, things a little awkward here in midfield, but still manages to get the challenge, gets a 50. But Derek has done a pretty good job of maintaining control as that one bouncing off so close to falling into the net, but not quite. Almost got a protractor angle there. Trying to follow it up off the post, bounces out. So Derek has 30 seconds left on the clock to try to capitalize. And so far, Vince is denying everything. He's got an open net. Is it going to post out or post in? It's right on the line, and it still hasn't fallen, but now Vince scores goal number 6 off of a weird angle off the post. It just kind of falls.
Oh, those right angles on the post are so deceptive. That ball just creeping its way on in, but it's another symptom of Vince just being the cobra lurking in the bushes right now, just deceptively quick on the counter. The defense is very controlling for Vince, and the offense strikes at a moment's notice, and it's something that Derek hasn't quite been able to figure out just yet. Able to block this one away, but with time expiring in a 3-goal differential, Jeff, it looks like Vince in pretty solid fashion. I guess you could say it's official. Vince does win game number 1 of this best of 3.
Yeah, Vince definitely had a much tighter gameplay in game number 1, more control. But honestly, looking at the stats with Derek still took a lot of shots on net. He actually took more shots than Vince, just could not capitalize as much. Vince had 7 saves, so his defense was really what carried him. I mean, well, that, and also I just feel like he had a more solid sense of ball control. But this is game number 1, and so, you know, that could just be a warm-up game. Maybe Derek is just trying to feel out how Vince was playing out there on the pitch, and we might see a completely different Derek in game number 2. I don't know, but that was really commendable for Vince to get that early lead out in game number 1. And it is only a best of 3, so, you know, one more game. This is match point, so Derek's got to dig down deep and, you know, pull out if he wants to try to stay in this thing.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, I mean, you brought up the fact that Vince was on 7 saves in that game. Derek scored 3 goals on 10 shots. So every single shot that Derek took that didn't result in a goal was a registered save for Vince. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot in the context of ones because you are your only defender. You are the last line of defense. But that means 2 things. Number 1, Derek's shots are finding their mark because it's forcing Vince to make a save. If Derek had more shots than Vince had saves accounted for, then Derek has a shooting accuracy problem. Number 2, it means that Vince is really good at defense, and that is going to be crucial moving into the rest of this series, because if Derek can't find a way to get through Vince, Vince is just going to erect another brick wall in front of the net.
Yep. So we'll see how things play out here in game number 2. Definitely hope to see Derek kind of awaken from his first game form, but here we are on the pitch. Kickoff goes Derek's way. Doesn't go for a touch here, trying to play it close, but Vince was all over top of it. He's got an open net, but whiffs underneath, so now Derek can turn this one around quickly. If he can keep up the speed, he's got Vince approaching behind him, but it's not going to be enough, so Derek gets a takeaway as Vince surprisingly whiffs the ball completely.
Yeah, 13 seconds in, all it takes, and Derek has the response. This is the foot in the door, more or less, and it's par for the course in one's games, these counterattack goals where one player just misses wildly and it's written off before it's even heading in the direction of the goal. But for Derek, it's a good look in. It's the start of something that could be something to force this game 3. But Vince now looking to do it on the other end, moving quickly and almost able to get the challenge, but Derek actually ends up falling on top of Vince into that demo, so we'll have an opportunity the other way. That's a nice pop from the ground, and Derek, that's a very clean way to score a much more surefire goal.
I tell you what, from setting that up from his own side of the field, getting the demo on Vince, the mid boost, the dribble to the pop, into the aerial, all of it was just pristine how he executed that, and Vince was just completely left stuttering on the ground. Derek's got a 2-goal lead, and I feel like Derek is really showing us that he's starting to get warm out there, if not warm already, and he's ready to compete against Vince in this second game as he finds a clear here. Vince quickly dodging back, but he's got plenty of boost to get there. Picks up the 100 in the corner. Playing this one off the ceiling, gets a flick. Does he have the follow, though? Derek off the back of his car just completely 180s this ball, and Vince isn't going to get there. That's goal number 3.
This is a very interesting look. We are a minute in, so, you know, a decent amount of time in ones has passed, but Derek now with a 3-0 lead, and I think what it comes down to, what I'm at least seeing, is Vince is taking the aggression that was really only present on the offensive half in game 1 and now trying to exert it over every single angle. But Derek, what a kickoff goal. How do you even script that sort of thing?
I don't know. I think Vince honestly was just a little bit off to the side on that kickoff. Maybe got his speed flip a little bit wrong, and Derek was just right over top of it. Those goals are the one thing that kind of crushes you most, is when your car gets turned into a ramp for your opponent, but that's exactly what happened to Vince there. So Derek with a solid lead, with still plenty of time left on the clock if Vince wants to try to make a comeback, but so far I have not seen anything out of Vince that warrants him kind of taking hardly any shots that would make Derek really worried out there on the pitch. He showed a lot of ball control. He's already got this breakaway again, getting the pop and the demo. So goal number 5 goes to Derek, and Vince is just left shattered.
You know what I think it is? Honestly, the Derek Dumpies in the chat are really empowering him right now, because every single opportunity that he's gone for has been a force. And this is something that I touched on during game number 1. It felt like a gentleman's ones game where they were kind of scared to go at each other for bumps, demos, whatnot. But now that it's getting scrappy, you can really see the offenses opening up. They want to try and give themselves as large of an advantage as possible in the offensive zone. And Vince with a beautiful self-dish finish for the first goal, hopefully not the last on his side.
Yeah, he got the kickoff goal right there. Well, got the kickoff advantage, taking that to the corner. Real quick transition in. So Vince, he's got his first goal, but hopefully he doesn't give up this one here. No boost, makes a dodge, gets a play. Is he going to be able to fight off Derek with only 12 boost? Derek really slow playing this one, try to get into the mind of Vince, and he's not falling for it. He gets behind him, though. Does he have a follow-up? He gets the cut. Vince is still there with hardly any boost at all. Still makes the save, but Derek is doing a real good job controlling how much boost Vince is actually allowed to get. And even with the demo, still manages to get on the attack. Vince is going to spawn back. Actually, that demo might have helped him out a little bit there. Kind of gave him a clear and 33 boost to work with.
Yeah, Vince definitely spawned in the correct corner there. Not that there was really much of a choice to be made on the player side of things, but this is Derek's game. Get the ball as deep as possible and then go left boost, right boost, left boost, right boost, and just continually starve Vince out of having the resources to make a clear. But when Vince does find it, pretty much spells the immediate end for the push from Derek. So looking for a little bit more conversion from Derek on these opportunities. Again, ends up in the corner, but Vince clears it down the mid. That's got to be a goal if I've ever seen one, and sure enough it is. I mean, hey, 2:21 to go on the clock. Vince has 2 unanswered and starting to ramp it up a little bit here.
Yeah, honestly, I was really surprised to see Derek go for a challenge that clearly was not going to end up in him getting a touch. Vince definitely had that ball closer to his car than Derek's, and the dodge there to try to kind of get something didn't quite make sense to me. You see Derek ends up paying for it, but he's still got 3 goals in his pocket as assurance, you know, so Vince still has to try to step his game up a little bit, but he's starting to sort of awaken here in game number 2 through a strong push from Derek. But you see he's got no boost now. He's trying to turn around. Derek with a couple of juke moves doesn't get anything to fall first time around. Still, Vince floundering around with no boost, trying to pick up a couple small pads. See what Derek does with this flick. Good patience from Vince, getting that save out, and he might even have an opportunity to send it downfield as he doesn't opt to go for the first shot, knowing that Derek was going to be there. But honestly, what can Vince do when he can hardly collect any boost, and Derek is just sitting over there with like 3/4 or a full tank?
I was gonna say, the boost discrepancy has to be huge for most of this, but Vince still gets the goal. I mean, if you want to have this conversation about boost over ball, sure, but it's almost more than that because Derek has the resources, but isn't challenging at the right times, and Vince is just being so patient about it. Granted, there are some moments where, like you said, Vince is flopping around like a fish, but Derek doesn't really understand the advantage that he holds at most points. He's able to get these boost deals, have such a higher boost total in his own tank. See, he's doing it again. Left boost to right boost to left boost to right boost over and over until Vince can scrap together a measly couple pads, and the back boost does spawn in time, so Vince able to force this out to the middle of the field, which could spell disaster for Derek, forced to play it off the backboard, but Vince, that's a pretty free finish, and all of a sudden he's back within 1.
Yeah, honestly, how Vince is turning it up, even despite Derek's best efforts to really starve Vince out on the field, it's not working, and Vince is making his comeback. Derek really needs to start challenging, like you were saying, when he has that advantage. When you've got that boost advantage, boost is everything in ones. If you don't have that, like, you've got to challenge it. But right now, Vince is just making short work out of Derek's defense now in the last minute.
This is getting a little concerning here. You know, just the fact that we're tied, but it was 5 unanswered goals into 5 unanswered goals is just a little concerning, I think, on both ends, but very much so more on Derek's end, considering the fact that his back is against the wall right now. That kickoff certainly not going to help things. It is initially wide from that bottom corner, but now Vince has a touch to the backboard. Resources. Oh, oof. My word. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, that is detrimental. That's just got to feel like a sinking feeling, because if you're Derek, you're 1 down. That's like an easy clear, and maybe got caught up in ball cam, sort of oriented himself wrong for that, misread it. I don't know what it was, but Derek has given up his substantial lead, and now he's a goal down with match point on the line. 44 seconds left on the clock. Can he do it? He's had the boost all game, but he needs to put something more into it than just having boost. Vince has made much better work of less, and honestly has showed us how much he can really just dig down into the trenches of Rocket League gameplay and show that there's a different style here. Sometimes it's more about, you know, your challenges and where you place yourself and how you choose to attack things than just overall complete boost domination out on the field. So 10 seconds approaching. Vince just trying to keep this ball away from Derek at this point, even taking it to his own side. I don't know if Derek's going to be able to answer here as time continues to tick away. He might have it, but Vince, it's kept up. He's got a flick. It's almost over top of him, but it's going to get down. And so, oh my gosh, in a complete wacky turn of events, Vince takes game number 2 and ends up taking it all. Surprising loss from Derek on that matchup.
It's a beautiful display, though, from Vince on the comeback. You have to give credit where credit is due. It's a tough look for Derek, yes, because having that 5-goal lead and then conceding 6 straight, the stats are incredibly close this time around. But I think we saw a real turnaround from Vince in the middle of the game, realizing that the aggression throughout every single angle of the pitch was not going to cut it. Just needed to get back to what he did best, which was playing slow and controlled and getting Derek to jump and bite at every possible challenge that would not go his way. So Vince, well done to win this series. And Jeff, that's just the prelim matchup. There is a URLC main event as well as Last One Driving coming. There is so much content tonight, and we have only just begun.
Yes, indeed. And oh my gosh, what a matchup to start things off to get the warm-up underway. But as Galgan has just mentioned, there is far more to come. Galgan, thank you so much for accompanying me in the booth today and really showing off your talents as a caster and on this field. It was such a pleasure working with you today, man.
Thank you so much. The same to you. I'm very glad to have done this. Thank you to the welcoming community as well. Fantastic people. And please, everybody, stay tuned. There is so much more to come.